Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're really opening up the user manual for your own brain. We're focusing on the amazing work of Dr. Jill Bolte Taylor, a neuroanatomist.
Right, and her research over decades, really, it centers on something pretty profound.
Which is?
That our brain, well, it's structured into these four distinct, predictable parts, almost like personalities. And these four characters basically dictate how we think, feel, and act.
Yeah, it moves us way beyond just thinking left brain, right brain.
Exactly. She shows that each hemisphere has both a thinking part and an emotional part, so four in total. And if we can get a handle on these four characters,
We get the roadmap.
we get the roadmap for, well, mastering ourselves, essentially.
And that's really the mission for this deep dive, isn't it? To give you, the listener, the tools to consciously, pick and choose which of these brain characters you want to engage. On purpose.
It's not just abstract theory. It's about actively shaping your own mental health, achieving what Dr. Taylor calls whole brain living.
But right now, there's a bit of a problem, societally speaking.
A big problem, yeah. We're dealing with a major imbalance. Our modern life, how we measure success, even a lot of traditional medicine, it's all overwhelmingly skewed.
Skewed towards just two of those four parts.
Yep, the two halves of the left hemisphere.
Wow. And it's fascinating because those two parts, the ones we apparently rely on the most, that's exactly where our sense of being isolated, anxious, where trauma and cravings hang out.
It's true. We've kind of outsourced our whole sense of being to the parts of the brain that define us as separate individuals, often anxious ones.
Okay, so let's unpack these dominant systems, starting with character one.
Okay, character one, the left thinking brain. Think of this as the logical, rational, analytical part, the administrator.
Its job is to organize everything.
Pretty much. Organize the chaos of the world. It's your classic A-type personality. Thrives on control people, places, time. It loves to dictate.
And this is where the ego lives, that feeling of me.
That's the spot. It defines the boundary. This is me. I exist. Here's where I begin and the world ends. It sets the social norms, analyses all the details, manages the schedule.
Hates fuzziness.
Oh, definitely. If you can't measure it, control it. Put it in a spreadsheet. It's suspicious.
But that's also its limitation, right? That focus on structure can make it really rigid.
Exactly. Dr. Taylor even calls this character Helen.
As in?
As in hell on wheels. Affectionately, maybe. Or maybe just accurately.
Okay.
It's the driven part, gets you to work laser-focused on facts and details. But relaxation, not its strong suit.
Okay, so character one is the analytical boss, who's its partner in crime in the left hemisphere.
That would be character two, the left emotional brain. This one's the protector.
Protector. How so?
Well, the left hemisphere processes things linearly, right? Past, present, future. So character two is where we store old pain, past traumas, grudges. It's constantly scanning, looking back, trying to protect you from the hurt that happened before.
That sounds exhausting.
Yeah.
Just constantly vigilant.
It is, and the source material points out that this protective mechanism, this is where craving has its roots, specifically mentioning the insular cortex.
So if we're stuck running on character two.
So they're essentially running on autopilot, fueled by past pain, maybe addiction, always looking for reasons to justify feeling bad or reacting strongly.
It's described as not very happy.
Often, yeah. It loves a good dramatic knee-jerk react, as she puts it. It's trying to keep you safe, fundamentally, but its main tool is keeping you tethered to fear and past hurts.
Okay, this is huge. And she drops this nugget about relationships.
Oh yeah, the relationship complexity nugget. If you're in a serious relationship, you're not just dealing with two people. You're dealing with 8 specific personalities, 4 from you, 4 from your partner, all interacting, sometimes clashing.
8. Wow, okay, that explains a lot.
Yeah,
Suddenly makes sense why communication could get so tricky.
absolutely. Imagine coordinating all that.
So the left brain gives us the taskmaster and the trauma holder. Systems designed for separation, anxiety, rigidity. We clearly need some balance.
Desperately.
So let's shift gears. What happens when we bring the right hemisphere online?
It's a total shift in perspective. From individuality to universality, you could say. The right hemisphere is fundamentally a right here, right now machine.
So if the left brain says, it's all about me.
The right brain says, you, as a separate me, don't even really exist in the same way. You're just part of the whole cosmic soup, part of it all.
That feels like a radical change, so less language and definition.
And more sensation and connection. This is where we find joy, love, laughter, that feeling of being connected to others, to nature, to the universe, the excitement of pure possibility.
It's the pause.
Exactly. The conscious pause to the left brain's constant push, push, push.
And this side also has its two characters. Character 3.
Character 3 is the right emotional brain. I like to think of this one as the playful creature.
Playful how?
It focuses purely on the present moment's experiential feelings. Like the actual sensation of your feet on the ground, the temperature of the air on your skin, the physical feeling of joy bubbling up.
This sounds like the part of us that just needs to have fun. Spontaneity, play.
That's it exactly. It refuels the spirit. It melts away the stress that characters 1 and 2 are so good at building up.
But maybe a bit impulsive.
Can be, yeah, because it lacks that linear consequence planning ability of the left brain. It just wants the fun now. Dr. Taylor uses the example of like jumping into the neighbor's pool at 3 a.m.
Right, sounds fun at the time.
Great for de-stressing, but you probably need character 1 later to deal with the fallout.
Okay, makes sense. And that brings us to the last one, character 4. This feels like the ultimate goal in some ways.
Character 4, the right thinking brain. Dr. Taylor calls this one the sage. This is where true wisdom resides.
Wisdom as opposed to just knowledge.
Exactly. Wisdom is knowledge that's been integrated through experience, through context. It's the part that sees the big picture, synthesizes everything.
And how does that relate to peace? You mentioned peace.
It's inherently wired for peace because it perceives the interconnection of everything. It transcends the ego that character 1 works so hard to build.
So instead of me, the individual.
The sage connects us to this profound sense of awe and wonder. It taps into what feels like the life force power of the universe. It lets us see ourselves not just as solid objects, but as, well, collections of cells, energy, fundamentally connected to everything.
And that bigger view naturally calms the anxiety.
It automatically soothes that individual anxiety that character 2 feeds on. When you feel part of everything, the small stuff feels smaller.
Okay, so the goal isn't just to hang out in the right brain all day.
No, definitely not. We need all 4. The goal is whole brain living, a balanced, conscious engagement of all 4 characters, choosing the right one for the right situation.
And to really grasp the power, especially of that right side, we have to talk about Dr. Taylor's own story, her stroke.
Yeah, her deep understanding wasn't just academic. It became intensely personal when she essentially became her own case study. December 10th, 1996, she was 37, massive hemorrhagic stroke.
And it hit the left side of her brain.
Right in the left hemisphere, the area responsible for language, for numbers, Broca's area, Wernicke's area.
The details she shares are incredible. They perfectly illustrate what happens when that left brain function goes offline. She woke up, knew she needed help, but the number, 911...
completely meaningless, just symbols. The concept wasn't there for her.
She couldn't access it.
Nope. She described spending about 45 minutes kind of switching back and forth between hemispheres, trying to figure out what to do. She couldn't really speak properly either, said she sounded like a golden retriever.
Oh.
Eventually, she had to physically match the shapes, the squiggles on her business card, to the shapes on her phone keypad just to call her office. The logic, the symbols gone.
But here's the amazing part. As the hemorrhage got worse, forcing that left brain offline, it wasn't just a breakdown.
No, it was a breakthrough. She drifted completely into the consciousness of her right hemisphere.
And experienced
blissful euphoria, she calls it. That constant internal chatter from character 1, the organizer, the critic. It went silent. Poof. Gone.
She didn't exist as Bolte Taylor anymore.
Not in that defined, separate way. She felt energetically vast, as big as the universe, just floating in this peaceful, present awareness.
Incredible. But the recovery, that took years.
8 years. She essentially had to start over, like an infant in a woman's body.
Yeah.
Relearning how to walk, talk, read, write, everything.
And how she recovered is key here, isn't it? Using neuroplasticity.
Absolutely. She consciously used the skills of her right hemisphere, that holistic, big picture, three-dimensional thinking, the kind she knew from being a gross anatomist, to actually rebuild the analytical, detailed skills of her left brain.
Using connection to rebuild the details. That's fascinating.
It really is. She had to use the sage and the playful creature to help rebuild the administrator and the protector.
In her conclusion after all that, she's glad it happened.
She says it flat out. I'm so glad I had the stroke. It set her free.
Free from what?
Free from the relentless pressure of character 1, the expectations, the Harvard ladder, as she put it. Free from living a life based purely on external validation.
It plunged her into connection instead.
Into connection, presence, possibility. But, this brings up the crucial point for us, for the listener.
We don't need to have a stroke to find this balance.
Exactly. So how do we do it? How do we consciously choose these characters without a medical emergency forcing our hand?
Right. Let's get practical. We need ways to interrupt that left brain anxiety loop.
Yeah.
The 90-second rule for emotions seems like a really actionable place to start.
Oh, it's a game changer. And it's based on actual brain cell biology. The idea is when you have a thought that triggers an emotion, the whole chemical process in your body, the physiological response that is the feeling, it runs its course and flushes out in less than 90 seconds.
90 seconds. That's it. Anger, sadness, fear. It's physically gone that quickly.
The initial chemical wave is, yes, a minute and a half.
Okay. So if I stay mad for an hour or anxious all afternoon, what's happening? Why does it stick around?
Because you are keeping it going. You prolong the emotion by rethinking the original thought or thoughts like it. You keep pushing the button, rerunning the program, re-stimulating that chemical cascade over and over.
So I'm feeding the loop?
You're feeding the loop. If you can consciously choose not to re-engage that thought, just observe the physical sensation for those 90 seconds without judgment, it will dissipate naturally.
Wow. That puts the power right back in our hands. It makes sustained emotion a choice, not just a reaction.
Precisely. And linked to this is a different way of looking at emotions themselves. Dr. Taylor argues we shouldn't try to suppress them or get rid of them.
We should celebrate them.
Celebrate them. See them as information. For instance, celebrating anger means celebrating your body's powerful signal that a boundary needs to be set or has been crossed. The energy itself isn't bad. It's just data.
That totally reframes it. And this feels really relevant for dealing with trauma, which often gets stuck in character too, right?
Deeply rooted in character too, yes. And the goal isn't to erase the trauma, because you can't.
So what is the goal?
It's about acknowledging it, validating it. Yes, that happened, that was real, valuing it as information, and then consciously redirecting the energy associated with it.
Because if you just stay stuck in the past pain,
you keep strengthening that character 2 circuit. Trauma becomes your default setting, your lifestyle almost. The shift involves bringing character 4, the sage, into the conversation.
The wise part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Character 4 can act like an internal caregiver. It can witness the pain held by character 2, acknowledge the information, thank you for trying to protect me, and offer soothing reassurance. You're loved, you're safe now, we have this information.
And holding it that way can transform it.
It can. When trauma is held and heard with compassion by the sage, its energy can shift. It can transform from a burden into, say, motivation, maybe motivating you to help others who've been through something similar.
That redirection is key.
Yeah.
But okay, how do we actually do the redirection? How do we choose? It starts with awareness, I assume.
Step 1 is always observe yourself. You absolutely have to get good at recognizing which character is currently on stage, holding the microphone.
Like noticing, okay, I feel that tightness in my chest, that urge to snap at someone.
That's probably character 2, holding on to some past hurt or feeling threatened, or noticing, wow, I feel suddenly giddy and want to do something totally spontaneous.
That's character 3, the playful one.
Exactly. Just noticing without judgment is the first crucial step.
And then we need those conscious pause moments you mentioned.
Yes.
To actually make the shift.
Yes. Those moments where you deliberately interrupt the pattern. Dr. Taylor mentions doctors drawing hopscotch outside the ER.
Right, to shift out of the high-stress mode.
It's a deliberate action designed to activate character 3, the playful creature, bringing back some lightness, some glee, counteracting the adrenaline. It's an intentional choice to stimulate the right hemisphere.
And this isn't just positive thinking, is it? There's actual anatomy behind this ability to shift.
Oh, absolutely. It's based on measurable, wired-in anatomical reality. There's research, for instance, looking at how stimulating specific cells in our visual pathways, like how light hits certain parts of the retina, can preferentially activate either the right hemisphere, inducing calm, or the left, inducing focus. It demonstrates that these shifts are tied to our biology, not just wishful thinking.
Right.
We have some neurological control.
Which is incredibly empowering. But none of this works. None of the 4 characters can function well if the underlying hardware, the brain cells themselves, aren't healthy.
That's the foundation. You've got to take care of the organism itself. We need to talk about basic cellular health, the non-negotiables.
Okay, lay them out for us. Number 1.
Sleep has to be the priority. Number 1, hands down.
Why so critical?
Because during sleep, specific brain cells called microglia are literally cleaning house. They're clearing out the metabolic waste products that our neurons generate all day just by thinking and functioning.
So if we skimp on sleep,
We wake up feeling foggy, unclear because the cellular trash wasn't taken out. Our neurons can't fire cleanly. We literally wake up with a dirty brain.
Okay, noted. Sleep is essential. What's next?
Nutrition. Simple, really. We're feeding 50 trillion body cells, including billions of brain cells. Focus on fresh foods, fruits, vegetables. Avoid preservatives, chemicals, and especially excess sugar.
Sugar's bad news for brain cells.
It's really not a healthy choice, as Dr. Taylor puts it politely. It messes with energy levels and optimal function. Think clean fuel for optimal performance.
Makes sense. And movement. We often forget the body part.
Crucial. Remember, the body isn't just a taxi service for the brain. We are one integrated organism. Physical movement is vital for blood flow, oxygenation, mood regulation, everything. It keeps the whole system tuned up.
Got it. What else?
Hydration. Seems basic, but we're essentially a big liquid ball, as she says.
Oh, okay.
Our cells are mostly water, surrounded by fluid. That delicate water balance is absolutely critical for the electrical signaling between neurons. Dehydration means sluggish signaling.
So, drink water. Simple but vital. Anything else for cellular care?
Yes, one more. Keep learning.
Learning helps the cells.
Absolutely. Learning actively promotes neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to form new connections between neurons. The more we learn, the more flexible and adaptable our brain becomes. It strengthens the very foundation that allows us to consciously choose between our 4 characters.
This has been an incredible deep dive, so bringing it all together for you, the listener,
Yeah.
what's the big takeaway?
It's that you have all 4 parts of this magnificent organ inside you right now. And much of the modern struggle, the anxiety, the feeling of isolation, the lack of peace, it stems directly from this societal habit of mostly just running on characters 1 and 2. The anxious, ego-driven parts.
We're operating with only half the toolkit, essentially.
Pretty much. And if we can reconnect with character 4, the sage, remember that sense of awe and wonder, Dr. Taylor points to the sheer biological miracle of your existence.
The odds we beat just to be here.
Astronomical. During gestation, your cells were dividing, creating new cells at a rate of something like 250,000 per second.
Wow.
That's the kind of incredible life force energy that's inherent in you right now. That's the reality character 4 can connect with.
You are a miracle of cellular function. Remembering that should fuel that sense of awe. So if there's one immediate, practical action step from this deep dive,
it's this. Your life, your choices, your well-being. There were 30 seconds.
30 seconds. Explain.
If you find yourself about to react, maybe pull out into traffic impulsively, send that angry email, make any quick decision driven by anxiety, stress, or that need for control.
Which means character 1 or 2 is likely driving the bus.
Exactly. In that moment, do not move. Just pause. Take one conscious breath. Give yourself that physical pause. Maybe 30 seconds, maybe just 10.
And that physical pause does what?
It creates just enough space. Space for that 90-second chemical loop to run its course. Space to interrupt character 2's potential panic or character 1's rigid reaction. Space to consciously invite character 4, the sage, into the decision.
It allows the whole brain to come online.
It lets wisdom integrate with action instead of just reacting. That simple physical pause. It could literally save your life or save a relationship or just lead to a much wiser, more peaceful choice.
Take the pause. Engage the whole brain. Fantastic advice.